one thing to understand is that these live streams, right, the ones that we'll be doing during December, right, which will be a short-term schedule due to the fact that it's December, right? It's a week before Christmas, and yes, we'll be doing a live stream next week, even though it's Christmas week and the week after, until we go back to our regular schedule, January, right? Because it's Christmas, right? Tomorrow we have the contracts, will be expiring, right? It's not the best time to be doing anything right now. I will say this year over, right? Every year it will be the same thing next year. If you are trading January, February, March, April, all of during the year, why would you want to be doing anything during December, right? You wouldn't want to be doing that, right? If you're passing your challenges, you're making money in some way, because there's many ways to use the skill to make money, right? And of course, we all know January, February, March, the price action will be more clear than now, due to the fact that big money will be pulling their, risk from the table, right? And this will be, throughout every industry, not just the trading industry, even in real estate, right? Anything else, in farming, right? No one, will be, putting all of their time or effort into, anything right now. So I have seen, very good comments. I've seen a few, bad comment, just a few. They're still here, still people that, still expect me during the month of December, when there's not a lot going on, that expect, me to just be going full force as when I just started the year, right? You gotta understand I'm human too, right? You're gonna understand that you will be getting lifetime for free, right? That's the purpose of paying for the 12th month, right? That's it. That's what it is, right? So, I don't expect anyone to just be, in the market right now. Of course, you should be locked in at all times, but, this month, you should be using it to reflect on what, how far you've come, right? You should be using it to reflect on how much you've made or how much progress you've made, right? That's what you should be looking at right now. Look at it. You go through your journal. Look at the first charts that you drew this year. Compare them to your charts now. Compare your analysis from January to now. Have you grew? Listen, this is a very important question. Have you grew? Are you better? Not are you the best? Are you better than you were in January? Do you see price clearer than you did in January? I'm 100% sure that you do. The aim is not to be the best. The aim is to make money, right? That's what the aim is. That's what you should be aiming for, right? And before you aim to make money, you must aim to become better. Yes, a lot of you guys are making money, but maybe some aren't as yet. And that's just due to the fact that, you haven't put, enough time into this as yet. You haven't poured yourself into this as yet. And no, it's not the month to do so, right? It's not the month to do so. You do so mainly during February and, between February and November, right? Summer months are the best, in my opinion, right? And the month that precedes summer months as well, and the one that comes after, right? As you guys can see that, the markets right before, we have the contracts expired, and, you usually get the volatility either on the day of the contract expired or the day before the day after, right? It's a 3-day window. Everything that I'm saying right now, it's important, right? I try not to waste my words, right? 2025 will be different, different beast, operating differently, we'll be frequent as we were at the start and at the beginning of the year, Well, that was sorry about that. At the starting of the year, I don't know why I said the same thing twice, but yes. So yes, if anyone has any questions, please ask now. Someone said they can't wait for the first action in 2025. It'll be good, right? Just as how, like, do you guys realize that February, March, April, it's so easy. It was so easy. But as you go closer to the end of the year, and listen, this was just due to the fact that we had, US elections, right? So next year will be totally different than this year, right? The goal, is just to have you guys be able to understand where price is going to go before it goes there. The goal is just to have you guys understand price, not just, asking, can we get more? Can we get more? Can we get more? You're just going to be asking for more, like forever. You need to find your model. Look at the ones that, are successful. Look at the ones that you see that are killing it day in, day out. Right? Everyone, does something similar because there's not a lot of things, that can happen for price to reverse. Yes, you'll get something that's new or whatever, but you need to just be focused on what you have right now. It's a lot. Right? And you already know what you want, what you like. You know what you like already. So you should use that. There's this one person that, he's really happy, right? He passes his challenges, he's happy. He always inboxes me. And when he passes challenges, he's happy as hell. But when he fails, guess what happened? One trade is all it takes to blow his account. Come on, like, you can't do that. You can't expect to always win because you will never always win. This guy will be on a 5-trade winning streak. And he's like, oh, this is amazing. Quarter 3 is amazing. One loss, stop loss hit, account blown. Oh, why did this happen? Why did it happen? Because it's not going to always work. It happened because you're not going to always get it right. That's why. That's exactly why. You're just using these concepts, just for basically less than a year, almost a year, but less than a year. You can't expect to, perfect it already. Right? So next year we'll be doing more exciting things. Doesn't make sense to talk about it yet, but, we'll be more active, way more active, right? Because now it's more that, I'm more comfortable with you guys. I'm more comfortable to share certain things, right, than what I would be sharing with, a group that's new. Right? I wouldn't share certain things with people that are new, that haven't been here. Right? People that haven't, stuck around. People that, haven't found success in any way, or, just people that don't like it here, right? Because it just wouldn't make sense. So as you guys can see that, right, this week, okay, just by looking at the economic calendar, why would we classify this week as low probability? I'm asking that question. Just by looking at the economic calendar, there's one person, I know that there are people here that are paying attention that know this. Why wouldn't we, be really active this week? Not just because it's December. 3 or more news days. Multi-red folders. 5 of them. Right? Whenever you see that, you know what to do. Right? If you don't have to, you just don't do anything. You don't have to, you don't do anything. Right? And before anyone says anything, you can trade on a day that does not have a red folder as long as you have a cracking correlation. Right? But whenever you have 3 or more days that have, high impact news events like this right here, it's, a no-go. You don't need to do anything, right? And on top of that, it's December. It's the week before Christmas. Why would you even want to do anything? You had the entire year, and you have next year, the year after that. You don't need to do anything. So here is, you can see, right? This right here was a precision candle, right? After which we had price reverse. Remember what we said, right? We talked about, we compared the Dow to these assets here, the Nasdaq and the S&P 500. Pay attention if you haven't been paying attention, right? Whenever you see the Dow, right, break away from, the members of its triad, its family, which is S&P 500 and Nasdaq, right? So it breaks down here on this candle. It's breaking down. These haven't broken down yet, right? What did you expect? What did we expect if you have been paying attention, right? We will expect a reversal. And you can see that happened. We also had SMT, right? But the important thing right here to see is not just the SMT, because that will come after, right? That's something that, follows this. So we had the decoupling, this candle here. This was still, the up close candle. This right here was barely doing anything, right? So what should you expect next? A large, inflow of liquidity, which will lead to what? A large range day, a large range candle, right? That's what you should expect. This is the same thing if it, with any triad, right? It's the same exact thing. Well, it's not that hard to understand. And here you can see, right, first of all, we took this high out, right, which if you guys can remember, right, since we were here, right, we expected higher prices. We did get higher prices. Then while we were here, right, we had SMT here, then we expected price to drop here, below the 50% of this range right here. Then we expected higher prices again. While we were, we expected price to reverse while we were going about this high. Right? That's what we expected. Right? So due to the fact that you guys, right, you're the OGs, right, and I guess that I believe that none of you guys will, be sharing anything next year, the charts will be more detailed, right? Because the reason why they're not detailed in the first year is due to the fact that, I don't want people to just be sharing the charts outside, and, have everyone reverse engineer what we're doing, right? So that's the main reason. So as we talked about the liquidity that we have below these lows, and I believe that, we'll see some form of reversal, right? Due to the fact that we had this cracking correlation. So here, right, you can see that we had the US dollar index, form a large up close candle, the euro a large down close candle, and the same for the British pound, while, we had this daily candle closing lower and, this week just closing lower, right? Same thing for all of these other assets which are related to the Nasdaq. So what do you see there? We see that the markets are in sync. Yes, the markets are in sync right before or right on the week of the contract expiry date, right? So, we can expect everything to just be back to normal, right? This is the best thing that you can see, a large candle form, because there's one of two things that can happen. Price will either retrace and continue lower, which, I expect these lows to be taken out, or just, retrace and take this high out, right? Either of those will give what? A setup, right? When you have price just, being stagnant, moving back and forth like here, which was terrifying. Like this was like some of the worst price action for, this year, right here, where we had the weekly candles basically just doing nothing, just stuck within a range for almost, well, probably over 2 months, right? Here you can see that we have SMT between Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? At the highs right here, right? And once again, you can see that the markets are in sync again due to the fact that we have the US dollar index closing upwards this week, and we have the futures triad, all of them closing down with Bitcoin, right? Something that, I'm paying attention to is this volume imbalance right here, right? So this is something that I'm paying attention to, right? This gap. I could see price returning to this gap right here. As long as this high stays in place, as long as we still have this cracking correlation here, right? So yes, someone's asking me if I'm going to take down some things from YouTube. Yes, we will do that. But yes, I hope that you guys found this useful. We'll be back again next week, right? You will be notified of the day that we will do it. It will either be Wednesday or Thursday, right? And right, next week is Christmas, so it won't be, Christmas Day, which is the 25th, so it will more than likely be the 26th after Christmas, right? Not because I care about Christmas or anything, right? It's just that, just have to, make time for my son, right? I literally haven't gotten any gifts or anything or any decorations, or it's just been work, right? And then, yeah, obviously this isn't the only thing that I do, but obviously I will give this most of my time because, I expect great things from those of you that have not yet found success, right? There's a lot of you that have, but there's some of you that, haven't yet. And the reason why you haven't, you haven't been locked in. You haven't been paying attention as you should be, right? Listen, the people that are, passing challenges left, right, and center, listen, ask them every day, every morning, almost every session, they're on. If they're at work, they're on. Lunch, on their break, they're on. You can't just watch one episode, one lecture once, and then you think you get it. You don't backtest. You have to. That's where the magic is. Dang day, I wish you stream more. We will. January's coming right around the corner, man. It's December right now, right? And even next year, this is the same thing that will happen during December, right? December is the time that we don't completely rest, but, it's more like, a half rest, if I can say that. So I hope that you found this useful. We'll be back next week, Boxing Day, sometime in the evening between 4 and 6. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful week.